Aside from my soul, there goes a sight, now there goes a sight from my soul, there goes a sight from my soul, there goes a sight, there goes a sight, there goes a sight from my soul. I think a tall angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my there goes a sight. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul.
One, two, three, jump!
Get wild.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up, the best damn Kansas City Chiefs podcast in the kingdom.
Chiefs Kingdom, what's up, baby? Noah Gray here, tight end for your Kansas City Chiefs. You're listening to All Chiefed Up with Mike and Steve Williams.
Kingdom, what is up? Welcome. This is All Chiefed Up. We are live tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit of draft news, a little bit of draft speculation with Broshmo. He'll be here in a few minutes. How are you guys doing? Good to see you guys. We see Gary out there. We see Chiefers 65 Toss Power Trap. We see Chris Wright. What's up, guys? Go ahead and smash that like button. Share this. Let everybody know what's up. Looks like Broshmo's already here, Steve.
He's locked and loaded. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. Let's just bring him in. Let's just jump into it here, man.
Yeah, as long as he's ready to go, we can do that. So what we're planning on doing is doing a Chiefs mock draft and let BroSchmo pick who he thinks the Chiefs should take. Since he's kind of the guru, he watches, and covers the draft stuff year round. So it'll be interesting to get his input on that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. We're going to let him take all the Chiefs picks tonight. I just want to see what he says, Steve. By the way, there's some Chief news happening today. We signed quarterback Blaine Gabbert. I'm sure you guys know him. He was drafted in 2011 by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 10 overall. He's 33 years old, and he's a Missouri boy, my man. He's from Baldwin, Missouri. So let us know in the chat what you guys think about that. Steve, what do you think about the Blaine Gabbert thing?
Man, I'm cool with it. It's not, it's a backup QB. It don't have to be somebody spectacular. But you're looking at a guy that was a first-round draft pick, and he's got plenty of years of experience at that backup role. So, if you had to have him in a moment, I wouldn't feel that bad about it, considering Andy Reid and the pieces he has around him. So I'm okay with it. I'm just kind of wondering what the deal is with Michelle.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Michelle. I think maybe they're just going to let him come in, learn a little bit more. I just don't know, like we've talked about, we don't know if you trust Michelle to come in and get that game-winning drive like Henny had to do in the playoffs. I just don't know if you can trust him just now. Blaine Gabbert backed up Tom Brady. He's been around for a while. He was with Arizona. He was with Tennessee. He's with the 49ers. In his career, he has 9,300 passing yards, 51 TDs, 47 picks, though. So 51 TDs to 47 picks, 72.6 QB rating. So we shall see. I'm going to go ahead.
Hey, somebody said something about our audio. If you can hear us, let us know. If it's too low, let us know, and we'll try to fix that. Not sure why it's quiet, but we'll figure it out real quick. So let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we can go up or down. Just let us know.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Joe, Blaine, don't be bland. I hear you, man.
It says low. I'm gonna go change this setting here. Take this off. What about now? Am I good now? Or is it too loud or what? Let us know. I think we're good. But let's go ahead and get BroSchmo going. I see Gojo.
Low. Am I still low?
I don't know. It's usually good. So let's go ahead and get BroSchmo in here and get this thing rolling, man.
Everybody's
Mike,
saying I'm low. I'm going to keep turning
you're
it
always
up.
low.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm turning it up. I'm turning it up.
I think.
Here
Did you shut that setting off?
I did. I turned it off.
Okay, yeah.
I'm tired of it.
That'll do it sometimes. Let's go ahead and get BroSchmo in here. He's got to go.
Let's get him in here. Let's get him in here and talk to him. BroSchmo, what is up?
Hey, what's crack-a-lackin'?
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Here. We got an
Yeah,
early
residential Chiefs fan.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you guys don't know, Gojo, he's a beautiful dog. He loves the Chiefs. He is a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, good stuff about you, bud.
Yeah, he's a cool looking dude. I love that dog. He's so cool. Yeah, but not just because he likes the Chiefs either. he's just a cool dog, man. I always see him in the background of your videos coming in and out.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't. I see him peeking out the window, coming through the curtain. He lives a good life.
So just a little bit of precursor for you guys that don't know BroSchmo. He does draft coverage year round on his channel. It's just youtube.com/BroSchmo, correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll put that in the description. You guys can go check that out and support him. But he's actually, so let me get this straight. You're in Arizona, but you're a Dolphins fan, correct?
Fins up, baby. Fins up.
What I thought. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what you think the Chiefs should do with this draft, because we all have our ideas. We all have our my guys and what we think the Chiefs need, but it's going to be cool to get an outside perspective on that. Somebody that knows these players inside and out. So I'm ready to do it, man.
I'm locked
Yeah.
and loaded.
Let's jump in. We had Broshmo on last year. Like, we were a new channel last year. He was on, like, I want to say one of the first 5-10 videos we ever done. Broshmo come on. So he's very familiar here. I watch his stuff all the time. Like, I get a lot of my stuff from Broshmo. Like, that's the way it is. I trust him. So we're gonna jump on into the draft room. We actually talked to you last year when we traded Tyreek Hill. Do you remember that? It was the whole
It's the only
Tyreek Hill
thing of
debacle.
draft relevance
Hey,
for us.
Another little
Do you-
tidbit is Broshmo was big on Leo Chanel, and we drafted him.
That
So
was my linebacker one, man. I was in love.
Yeah, he did. So, do you think the Chiefs made out well without Tyreek Hill, or do you think that trade hurt us a little bit?
Honestly, I think they were fine. Like, they've kind of gone the whole variety is the spice of life. And when it came to the wide receiver room, and I mean, y'all won the Super Bowl. What more can I say?
Right. Okay.
you just
well,
wanted to
I'm
rub that
gonna-
in a little bit, didn't you?
Well, we had talked about it. We said we'd come back and talk about how that trade panned out, and I think it panned out pretty well. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. Let me know if you guys can see this on your screens.
Can't see Broshmo. Let's hide that comment.
Yeah, hide that
There we
comment.
go.
We won't be able to throw up comments for you guys right now because it will hide Broshmo. We don't want to take away from Broshmo Gojo goodness, so we're not going to do it. But we will keep reading them. We'll read them off. Broshmo. So I'm just gonna. You're very familiar with Walk the Mock. So I'm just gonna roll through Walk the Mock, and we're gonna let you pick the Chiefs. I don't know how many rounds we'll do. We'll try to get you out here in like 30 minutes or so because we don't want to take up all your time. But
Oh, good.
we're just gonna run it, my man. Thanks for being here, by the way. While these are running, like, what have you been up to lately?
Just finalizing stuff on my little Google spreadsheet doc. When it comes to like my big board, I'm right now sitting at 300. I kind of want to do 500, but it's like that point. Why does it matter?
Man.
Oh yeah, you start getting after 300, it's a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, I got my positional rankings like deep enough. Like you kind of get into the weeds once you really go past like a top 300.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Jan, thanks for the 20 bomb. We appreciate that. Always supporting. We love you.
Jan's awesome. Jan's always here supporting. Okay, my man. So we're gonna come up on the board right now, and I mean, I pretty much know where you're gonna go right here at number 31. There's a big name sticking up at number 31. The last few picks, Anton Harrison went number 28. Keanu Benton, a surprise first round reach by the Saints, which, come on, the Saints do that kind of crap all the time, so maybe not so crazy. And then we got King Felix going at number 30. BroSchmo, what would you do if you were the Chiefs? If you are Brett Veach right here, what do you do?
So Quentin Johnston is one of my favorite guys in this
Okay.
class. So that's tempting there. I believe DeJuan Jones still might be on the board. Right tackle
me-
spot open since
me-
Juwan
He
Taylor
is.
left. So that's the other thing I see. Kind of curious what the edge or the edge or defensive line group looks like.
Let me bring him in. Brian Brsay still on the board. Kalijah Cansey still on the board. DeJuan Jones and Quentin Johnson. That's the top four according to my rankings. Mozzie Smith's here at 35 overall. You know, Mozzie Smith, I want to ask you a question. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom doesn't know about Mozzie Smith. They're not mocking him to us. A lot of people have him going to maybe Dallas a little earlier. What do you think about Mozzie Smith? He's a guy that every time I watch him, I just move him up my draft board. I can't stop.
Yeah, like the pass rush upside, it's nice. The production's not there to warrant it. But in terms of, I'm gonna let go Joe real quick. He's losing his
you're
mind.
good.
It's fucking Mozzie.
Because he's trying to get him to hurry up and pick Quentin Johnston. What it is. The
Yeah,
Chiefs
right.
fans like, what are you waiting for?
He's a cat that was number one, I believe, on Bruce Feldman's freaks list. Tested out all right. I don't think he really hit those numbers, but you see a pass rush upside with him. The dude works leverage really well. He's really good in the run game. He can create pileups. He actually plays sideline to sideline. I've seen him run guys down towards the sideline. So like, at the bare minimum, you're getting an exceptionally good run defender, which I mean, I think even the Bills might be in the market. We saw what happened with DeQuan Jones. Jones, right? I believe it was DeQuan Jones, former Tennessee tight end. He went down and they got ran over in the playoffs. So it's like, people might be in the market for, it's like, oh, the pass rush upside's good enough as long as he could kind of be that space eater in the middle to kind of like dictate the run game. So it's like definitely is an interesting name. And I mean, y'all just lost Saunders, so
Yeah,
Right. What do
that's why
you
Brian Bresay right here seems kind of intriguing too. A lot of people mock him to, or not mock him, they comp him to Chris Jones a little bit, which we obviously have on the roster. Brett Veach is actually in a contract holdup with Chris Jones. Do you think maybe he takes that big defensive tackle here to pressure Chris Jones?
I think the big thing missing would be Brian Brazee. He was able to keep himself in his pants during his 40, so I don't know if that necessarily.
Yeah, Chris Jones is one of a kind there.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's backed it up on the field, man. You know,
The only player to ever lose it in the 40 on the combine. So
Yeah. I've never had a problem with tripping over my, when I'm running a 40.
And I never will.
It's not problems that I'm never gonna have to deal with, my man.
Yeah, I think edge is kind of the interesting position here for the Chiefs because it kind of looks like that Spagnuolo might be a bit more open to these lighter guys, right? Like a Will McDonald and such. I mean, he rushed stinking Willie Gay off the edge an insane amount this past year. So it's like, I mean, they just got rid of Frank Clark. Best move of your lives.
I'm a big
You think
BJ
so?
Ojulari guy.
I'm not. I like Ojulari. I don't like Frank Clark. I thought he is the equivalent of the J.R. Smith to like the NFL. The dude is.
I always said he's a pass rusher 2, always getting paid like a pass rusher 1. It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm
dude
gonna let
is so
you. I'm
streaky.
gonna let you make this pick here. Do you want to go tackle, edge rusher, or wide receiver? I think you've hit the 3 big positions.
Yeah.
Besides offensive tackle. Well, no, we said offensive tackle. I'm crazy.
I think for me it would be DeJuan Jones. Just the fall off at tackle is huge.
I'm gonna let you say lock it. When you say lock it in, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make the mistake to click it.
I will tell you, there's some PTSD when people see DeJuan Jones because they keep comping him to Orlando Brown Jr.
Yes.
And Chiefs Kingdom is not keen on Orlando Brown, so.
What do
you think about that comparison?
Orlando Brown. To be fair, Orlando
You think
Brown was.
you think they're similar though?
I don't. I think they're in terms of mass, probably, but like I think that's about it. I feel like or at least DeJuan Jones is a bit better of an athlete. He's a bit more put together as a pass protector than people give him credit for. And I would send it in. It kind of like I feel like you get an upgrade there from Brown and Wiley. And I'm not too sure what y'all plan to do with Kennard if he's guard or tackle. So
right,
we're
want
not
him to
even
be a tackle, but we're not sure. So we'll go ahead and send in DeJuan Jones. I like that idea because they've already said Jawan Taylor. They're planning on left tackle with Jawan Taylor. So just to make this easy, we'll just hit DeJuan Jones, and Quentin Johnston is sad.
Yeah, I know that hurts my heart, but it's like the fall off in this tackle class is just a lot steeper than it would be at like the wide receivers available there.
Agreed.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know how many wide receiver 1 grades I actually have. I think I've only got like 2, and Quentin Johnston is like the second one. So
yeah,
it's him and Jigba, and I don't know. I think either one, Andy Reid's going to be able to get into the offense, but Andy Reid and they just don't like to go wide receiver heavy early. They tend to do that in the second round. So speaking of, we're in the second round. I'll read you the last few picks that come off the board. Keely Ringo, Jalen Hyatt, Derek Hall, Steve Avila, Dion Henley, Javon Dexter, Jalen Jones just come off the board to the Eagles. So the Chiefs are on the clock. I will take the tackle off. I will keep edge, defensive line, and wide receiver on the board. And it looks like it's Tillman, Tank Dell, Foskey is your top 3 picks here.
Oh, so ton of receivers. You want to show me what it looks like without wide receiver?
Yes.
So all I could see is wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver.
Right. Let's just here. I'm just
out
laying
of
it all,
curiosity.
and we'll just look at the whole big board. Cody Mauch, Isaiah. Nope. Hold up. It refreshed. Sidney Brown, Cedric Tillman, Luke Whippler, Zach Charbonnet, Tyjae Spears, Cody Mauch, Luke Musgrave, Tank Dell, Foskey, Chris Smith, Garrett Williams, Sam Laporta, and then if you need me to keep going, we can keep going. By the way, if this
Yeah.
isn't big enough on your screen, let me know. I can blow this up a little bit as well.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So I am curious because like this edge talent does fall off a little bit. So I am curious what the edge class currently looks like. Because I saw Foskey,
You got Foskey, Nick Hampton at rated 120. Is that low or high for Nick Hampton in your opinion?
I feel like that's about the ballpark.
That
I feel like
yes.
late third, early fourth is about right. That's where we saw.
Yeah.
What was
These
his name?
rankings are my initial rankings. They're not the walk the mock rankings. So if you think they look a little wonky, it's because I've done it. But I think I've got everybody pretty much in the ballpark of where I want to go. I'm just tweaking back and forth a little bit. And sometimes you forget players and this and that. When you're dealing with 300, 400 players, I'm like, my God, I can't keep up.
It do be much. It do be much.
It's a lot.
So yeah, it doesn't look like we're going edge. I guess wide receiver really might be it. Because I mean, there's a lot of good guys there. Like Cedric Tillman's the first one to come to mind.
Do you think Sidney Brown at free safety would be something that we could pick? We drafted Cook last year to play some safety. We bring him down in the box. We do have Justin Reed, but we lost Juan Thornhill. A lot of people are saying maybe the safety spot is something we could look at. Do you think Sidney Brown here is even a potential idea, or do you think this is too early?
I don't think it's too early, but I don't know. I think they kind of moved away from running a lot of three safeties because I mean they've gotten so good at the corner position. They've got guys that can play both outside and inside, and Snead and McDuffie. So I feel so like you no longer really need that safety to come down and kind of play a overhang or a slot role. So I think they're pretty content with Cook and Reed for now. Getting that big body receiver, I think, is so important. I know I got Justin Ross, but I mean, the dude's been hurt for the better part.
Don't bring up Justin Ross. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom very sensitive on the Justin Ross issue. If you say he's anything but Pro Bowl, you will get.
Hey, he's a nice story. I'll say that.
Exactly.
Man,
but we just tell people temper the expectations just a little bit.
Yeah.
The
It's coming
chat
back
is
from
literally
a lot.
screaming Isaiah Foskey at us like every
Golly, and I don't blame him. He basically feels like a Spags guy. He's got great length.
We're getting a lot of Foskey in the chat. Chris Wright, Nick.
It's not wrong. It's just he's just a very high ceiling player or a high floor player where you really don't know how much ceiling there is left for him. Really relies on his length and his pass rush. Probably had the win of the day at the Senior Bowl where he just put Ryan Hayes on his butt.
Yes, I tweeted that out and it lit Chiefs Kingdom on fire. I will ask you this question. When you watched Foskey play, he broke Justin Tuck's all-time sack record at Notre Dame. Do you think Foskey is athletic enough? Because the Chiefs like to go for athletes first and foremost. Do you think he's a good athlete with athleticism, or do you think – well, with that being said, is he a good enough athlete, and do you still think he could set the edge on the defense? Because that's what Spags likes. He likes those edge setters like the Carlos Dunlaps.
Yeah, if anything, that's the one thing I'm the most confident in terms of him being an edge setter. Okay. He's great length, like 34-inch arms. I'm fully confident he can do that. Is he bendy enough? Like, I think he's got a fair amount of bend. It's just like this was a dude that coming into this season, like you were kind of hoping this would be the breakout year, and then he had moments here and there. And you know what? He's also a guy that plays special teams. He had 2 punt blocks in a game this past year. So,
is he better? Do you think in the NFL he'd have a better or worse season than George Karlaftis in his rookie year? I think Karlaftis ended up with 6 sacks.
I think it would be comparable because I'm pretty sure Karlaftis didn't have that big of a win rate though.
Yep. What do you think, Steve? You haven't chimed in about Foskey. What's your thoughts on Foskey?
Kind of what Broshmo said. I think he's like the prototypical Spags guy for sure. I do like him. I don't think he's anything like spectacular, but I do like Foskey. So I think it would be solid. Here's something I got to bring this up just so I want Broshmo to address this. This guy says that you drafted a third rounder in the first round, so he thinks DeJuan Jones is a third rounder. What's your thoughts?
No.
We can't be right all the time. I mean, like
Yeah,
literally, this class falls off a cliff because after DeJuan Jones, you're looking at maybe Matthew Bergeron, where a lot of people
I hate
peg him
Bergeron.
as a guard, man. So it's
Dude,
like,
yeah, me and Bergeron don't get along. I actually comped him to Bob Huggins because I call him Huggy Bear.
yeah, a lot of people don't like
That's
that.
his comp for me. And to be honest, the more I think about it, Bergeron's probably going to be a second round pick because after him, it falls. It's a free fall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you. I like the DeJuan Jones. A lot of people are saying Pittsburgh could take DeJuan Jones in the first round before we even get there. So, I don't know, man.
Ooh,
I'm with
man,
you,
yeah,
though.
this tackle class is very interesting.
Uh-huh.
Very,
Yeah,
very
I
interesting.
think the third round comp on that's a little off. I think we need to go back and reassess that draft board there, fella.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when it comes to like vertical sets, like which you're the Patriots, you're the kings of vertical sets. I thought DeJuan Jones was pretty solid. You just got to get this guy's footwork a bit better, like because like he's huge, right? So his kick slide's massive, and it really doesn't need to be. He opens himself up to inside moves just so often. Like David
Right.
Ojabo had a field day back in 2021 with that. So it's a little work there, but I mean, this dude's a mountain, man.
BroSchmo, what is the game? I'm sure you can recall this. What's the game where DeJuan Jones is just pancaking people and he's like pointing people out? and
Golly, I
chasing
really
them
want to
down?
say it was against Nebraska. I really do. I've been
Was
trying
that
to remember.
not like some of the best film you've ever seen? Like I loved
Dude.
it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Oh man, it's. I remember calling that one out during my like preseason rankings. Like I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Dude, yeah, I like it there. So, okay, well, let's jump to the second round. We still haven't picked that. Are you leading towards a big
It's
body
all
wide
in.
receiver like Tillman?
I'm
Or-
actually kind of
or
leaning
Foskey.
towards Foskey because like
Let's
at this
do
point,
it.
it's like let's get a nice solid starter.
We
You know,
got
maybe
him.
we could swing for a receiver. I'm not gonna lie, Sam Laporta was definitely in the back of my
That-
head a little
a
bit.
lot of Chiefs Kingdom like Sam Laporta. I want to ask
Someone actually-
though. Go
Someone
ahead,
actually
Steve.
asked what BroSchmo thought was the best wide receivers in this class. So we have our opinions, but I'd like to hear his.
In terms of like, oh man, it really does come down to the two, Quentin Johnston and Jackson Smith and Najigba. Like
No,
Najigba,
the
I
tight
think
ends.
has
Did I say wide receiver? I mean,
Yeah, you did.
tight ends. Oh, okay, that's a
sorry.
lot easier question.
Yeah,
Whew. All right.
my bad.
Tight end. This is a really good tight end class in general. Dalton Kincaid, I think, is the best receiving target out there. The dude is a former receiver, didn't start playing until senior year of high school, which is why he wasn't really recruited, went to San Diego. He registered his first collegiate drop this season. The dude's got the surest hands. He's a route runner. He knows how to just be very how would you say crafty. There we go. That's the word, crafty with his routes. Dude's just a monster. You go look at the USC game and it's just like, my goodness. You got Sam Laporta. I feel like he's more like a running back at the tight end position because it's like once you put the ball in his hands, man, he's really good. 24 missed tackles this past year. It's just he doesn't have necessarily ideal weight. The length isn't spectacular. The ball skills aren't great. He's not your typical Iowa tight end where he'll be a very good blocker. I think he's maybe okay at that. Shoot, you get to like Michael Mayer, probably tight end 2 for me. I think he's not gonna be a volume guy, but like he's a good security blanket. You know, he's gonna do his part of the run game.
Agreed.
Yeah, Darnell Washington. I just don't think is dynamic as a receiver. I think have him tear it up the seams or throw him in the flats. That's about it. He's just not that agile. Musgrave's kind of the biggest question mark since we didn't really get to see a lot of them.
Right.
So like if any, like he didn't run like this big nuance of routes at Oregon State. So it's like, you know, this guy's at least going to be a really good vertical threat. He plays a bit high as a blocker, so guys get under him pretty easily. But like I don't know, it feels like the variety is the spice of life in this tight end class. Because even if you go on later, Zach Kuntz is someone that just freaking I absolutely love. Like he's got, I would say, tape that's like on par to, I guess, that back end of the first tier tight ends with Musgrave and Washington. You could also talk about Tucker Kraft. You go to the round, like the day 3 guys are pretty good. Brenton Strange, Davis Allen. I'm a big fan of Braden Willis at Oklahoma. I think there's just a lot of good players in this tight end class.
I seen a mock draft you just threw up on Broshmo's channel, a 3-round mock. You had Alex on there. I forget his what he works for.
Hail Mary Sports.
Yeah, Hail Mary Sports. That's it. I didn't want to get that wrong, but yeah, Alex at Hail Mary, he picked for the Chiefs in round 1. Took Dalton Kincaid in the first round. A lot of Chief fans like Kincaid. Do you think Kincaid's worth that round 1 pick, or do you think the Chiefs have way too many needs there?
If tackle is off the board, I think absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Inside Chiefs Kingdom, we know Kelsey's getting older, but that's a first-round pick on a tight end. That's 25.
Yeah, well, and I feel like your depth at tight end is not terrible. Yeah.
No,
he's 24, I think. Here, I could pull it up. He'll be 20. No, he'll be 23 playing out his rookie contract.
Well, I feel like the Chiefs are in a position where they can kind of go best player available no matter what. Like if you really think they have to get a tackle, that's probably the only position I feel like they have to get. But I mean, otherwise, I feel like they kind of take best player available because they need to fill a few holes in. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the pass rush just because Chris Jones can't do it by himself. Karlaftis is fine. I kind of feel like he might be not the guy, but a guy that can take part in that. So like your typical, like a Frank Clark or
Karlaftis is. I think he's a solid number 2 in this league. I don't know if he'll ever get to be the first premier.
I think he'll take a step up this year. I think he'll be better this year than last year for sure. He's a worker and he's got a crazy motor. So
yeah, so we're in round 3 here. We still haven't got a wide receiver. Our top wide receiver on the board right now is Rashee Rice, 6'2", 203 out of SMU. And then we got some defensive linemen. We got Zach Pickens. We got Yaya Diaby. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom like Yaya Diaby, but we took Foskey. We've got Charlie Jones on the board, Trey Palmer.
I love Charlie Jones.
Ojomo and Scott. Zach Harrison's another guy that I kind of like. Where do you think they go here, bro? This is you're on pick number 3 here. You're putting together a nice little draft here.
I'm not opposed.
I wouldn't be mad at these two.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to double dipping at edge at this point.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that either.
Yeah, Yaya and Harrison are literally like back to back on my big board. Could look to interior. Pickens is fine. What are the other wide receivers available around here? Just out of curiosity. This is going to be just a question every pick.
Parker Washington at 109, Charlie Jones at 118, Trey Palmer. I actually got Trey Palmer probably ranked a little higher than everybody else, but for his size and speed, I just think that's a good prospect. Tyler Scott, Keyshawn Butte, which I don't know your thoughts about him. He's all over the place. I feel like he's supposed to be a top 10 pick, and now he's falling off boards, and he's a tad bit lazy. So I don't know what you're getting. Steve likes Bryce Ford Wheaton. It's a little early here, I think, for Bryce Ford Wheaton, but maybe not.
He's just super athletic.
Yeah. The ball skills are a bit iffy. He in the season opener, he had that. It was like a little hook route. Tipped off his hands just because he was looking where to go rather than securing the ball. Went for an interception that sealed the game.
Yeah.
It's Pittsburgh, so that was kind of rough. But everything else about him is just super intriguing. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, this is the thing, man. I tend to feel like every time you look at receivers, you know what? There's good guys in later rounds. I could put this off, especially if you're the Chiefs.
The only thing I will say is we actually brought Rashee Rice in on a top 30. So if that weighs anything out, but when I watch Rashee Rice, I actually just done a bonus podcast today. Wherever you guys listen to podcasts, I'm actually throwing it up. It's going live tomorrow. I actually think that Rashee Rice does not play as fast on film as he runs. His game speed just does not translate, and he struggles to separate. And to be honest, he drops about 1 out of every 10 passes thrown his way. So yeah, Rashee Rice to me, I mean, he's awesome when he catches the ball. He's a bulldozer, but it's like, well, you got to have that because he's not the separation guy. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I honestly feel like he's probably pinned to the slot. Like you're
And
gonna want him to get free releases.
Do you feel like Rashee Rice only ran like 3 routes? Like he didn't run any.
Well,
routes.
that's SMU's offense, though.
Right, and I can't do it with him. Like him and Tyler Scott the same way. Like I just feel like their route tree's so limited that, and I'm with that. I'm the same with Jalen Hyatt. I think Jalen Hyatt's got some bust potential written all over him because that weird offense there in Tennessee, man, you just don't know how it's going to translate.
Oh boy, ain't that the truth?
Chris Wright with the gifted membership. Awesome, thanks, man. Somebody's gonna enjoy that. We're trying to get those memberships going. We just rolled those out, so if that's something you guys want to do, check into it.
Nice. You want to hit nose tackle as well, just so we get the full breadth. Oh, Siaki Ika. Oh, there's a big meaty boy.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. Now I'll tell you what, we don't really run the nose tackle position too often, but Noddy is who we just brought. We signed him back on a 1-year deal. He's about 313 pounds. Saki is 360 basically.
Yeah, well, he came at the combine at like 335. So
right. So let's hope. Okay, so he's down. So I mean, yeah, that's a big body. I don't think Noddy's going to be here any longer than this year. He got signed back to the 1 year. So I do think that we like the bulk in the middle more than we like the thinner guys, like the Kalijah Canties and stuff, which I absolutely love.
I mean, y'all got, don't y'all also got, what's his name? Wharton? That's like 260.
Turk Wharton, but they were playing him on the edge a lot. But yeah, he's coming off a knee injury, but he should be back to being healthy, hopefully. In the middle, though, if you remember last year, we were signing Brandon Williams. Remember, he played with the Ravens. We signed him for a little while. And I actually thought our defense looked so good a few years ago when we brought in that big Pennell kid out of the New York Jets. He anchored that run game, so it's on you.
So what's
Broshmo.
tight end
This
look
is all
like?
you, baby.
What's tight end look like?
Oh,
Zach Kuntz is the highest one.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's all I need to see. We should have
him.
We should have cut there later. I love Zach Kuntz.
Okay,
Like,
we're
this
taking
dude
him.
tested in 90 percentiles. I think he's a better put together blocker than people think. He actually ran a decently full route tree. He needs to get better as a route runner in terms of just like this guy. Just he runs at full speed every play. Like he's gonna be a nightmare in crossers, but like you get this guy out trying to do a comeback route, and it's like he's got to come to like a full stop. But like, oh my gosh, man, it's ridiculous.
I like him too. I think he's really good. I actually put a poll up before you picked and asked what everybody thought what position they thought you were going to go with, and only 13% picked tight end on that one. So you guys were right on.
I mean, dude's good, man. Dude's good. He is like my favorite to take in the 3rd round right now for a bulk of different teams. I just feel like it's worth like betting on those traits.
Okay, awesome. I took them. So we are in the 4th round. We have 2 4th-round picks. We got 420, and I believe we picked some probably like 10, 15 picks later. I still got the wide receivers on the board for you. We got Parker Washington, Charlie Jones. Steve is a big Charlie Jones guy.
Love Charlie Jones.
Toasted
Moro
Garrett
Ajomo.
Williams this year.
Who is it?
He toasted Garrett Williams this year before Williams had the ACL injury. Like it was a rough game for Garrett Williams.
I like Charlie Jones. I think he does a lot of stuff good, and he gets Does he get overlooked because he's a white slot receiver and they think he only fits?
I do that with Riley Moss. I'm like, oh, white corner. Okay, push him down the board.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing. Like it's crazy. But yeah, I'll leave wide receiver on the board. I got defensive line here for you. I'll take tight end off. Do you want me to add any specific positions? The Chiefs might be looking at maybe a corner or linebacker, even though we took 55 corners last year.
Yeah, I feel like your wealth at corner right now is like.
But I will say, we are in a contract year with L'Jarius Sneed, and if maybe we want some leverage or maybe things aren't going well on the contract part, maybe we look to corner late. I don't know. Just getting your thoughts on that.
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of grooming Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson to be those outside guys, to have like, now you have like Trent McDuffie that can bounce inside and outside, similar to Snead. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
I'm
agree.
thinking McDuffie might be the leverage.
Right. Kyle, what's up, man? Good to see you. He said we used Shelton for a while. Good to have a big one
Oh
tech on
yeah,
the left
Danny
side of
Shelton.
Jones. Yeah, so we did have Shelton. I forgot to mention him. Scott Crosser actually says for wide receiver, he likes Parker right here. He likes Parker Washington.
I don't want to get another slot for the Chiefs. That's the
I
thing.
think I feel like we need that X receiver. I mean, if you remember last year, we were talking. There was Chiefs Kingdom trying to trade Creed Humphrey for T Higgins. Like they were getting that desperate for an X, and I'm like, I don't want that trade ever. Please,
Not happening.
And I think honestly the Chiefs are kind of in a good position with Tony and Moore and MVS. Like you could probably you could probably look at like a Bryce Ford Whedon, which actually that's kind of the guy I kind of like for the Chiefs in the later, or I say later rounds, but we're starting to get close to that area. Other guys that I have there, like maybe Matt Landers is another guy that stands out,
guy
but
from
he's more of a
Arkansas?
6th round. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
beast too.
Yeah, he had a weird draft cycle. Like he went to the Hula Bowl, was there for a Tuesday practice, and then bounced. And I was like, oh, cool. We're gonna see him at like the Shrine or the Senior Bowl, and then didn't appear at any of those.
I have Landers at 234, so probably 6th round, somewhere in the 6th.
Yeah, where do I have?
I think that's about right. We did actually bring in Landers, I believe, didn't we, to talk to him, Steve? Was it Landers?
Oh, I got him 197.
I'm not sure if we did.
Oh, you
him
have him
or
about
not.
30 spots higher, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, you get the back end there. It's like,
Right. I mean,
We're
once it
gonna
gets that
see
low, it's
that.
preference. You know, it really is.
yeah. So, if you want to take off wide receiver for me real quick,
Okay, we'll pull wide receiver off the board here. Corey Trice, Demarion Overshone. I still got linebacker on the board just because that's something we considered. Ojomo, Eli Ricks, 6'2", 190. We got
gosh.
Trevius Hodges Tomlinson, who, whatever. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom like Ivan Pace, linebacker. We actually got a guy from RGR. I don't know if you're familiar with RGR football. They do Chief stuff. He actually comped him to John Wick.
just going in merciless.
Daniel Harms, yeah,
That's kind of him, man. I've seen
Yeah, for real.
James Harrison as a comp for some people for Ivan Pace. Ivan Pace.
Dude, I love him.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I thought it wouldn't be out of the question because the Chiefs signed Drew Tranquil to come in. He's kind of a master of all. He don't just play middle. He can play the slot. He can cover. He can blitz. And we have Willie Gay coming up on contract year. And the year after that, we're going to have Nick Bolton coming up. So I don't know if we can afford to pay all these guys. Willie Gay has a little bit of a history with injuries and a little bit of legal trouble. So I thought maybe Willie Gay, if he didn't get re-signed, would not be a surprise for me. So would an Ivan Pace, could he do a Willie Gay type thing from what you've seen?
I think so, because like Willie, I'm pretty confident like Willie Gay was like among like the top 10, top 15 in terms of linebackers that came in on blitzes last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ivan Pace, if you're not having him blitz, then why do you have Ivan Pace, you know?
That's my point. But this is all on you. So I'm just going to let you keep telling me who to look at. We didn't really prepare you for this to come on and just be.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, Matt, this is Matt, like this is the draft room, you know? This is what the war rooms look like, and they're discussing. Like, I really still want to look at defensive line guys in here.
Let me just pull off everything but defensive line for you. Okay, so everything should be off the board. It does not want to give up wide receiver here. Okay. I think we got it. If receivers, Zach Harrison is still on the board.
So
that is insanity. Isaiah McGuire, and he is a Missouri guy.
Yeah. McGuire's a typical Spags guy too, I think.
Yeah. I think he has actually the flexibility to kick inside too.
Jacqueline Roy on the inside. He's that exact Derek Nottie size, 6'4", 315. I think Mel Kiper has Jacqueline Roy in his top 10 defensive linemen, actually.
Yeah, which is wild. I feel like he kind of had a down year, and he's kind of overshadowed by like two really good defensive like interior there at LSU. Mason Smith, who had the season-ending injury, and then Wingo this year, I believe, was the guy that kind of broke out. I think we're double dipping at edge here. I think that's kind of the call. Because like,
I don't think Chiefs Kingdom would mind that at all.
Broshmo Chiefs Kingdom's has decided to double dip.
Chiefs Kingdom's very high on pass rushing. Like they love edge rushers, so I think they're gonna be just fine with that.
This is
Do you
the
wanna-
class to do it.
Do you want to ask the chat? Should we go Harrison or McGuire here? Is that the two you're between?
I think that's a fair question. Yes.
Okay, let's ask the chat. Chat, Harrison out of now. I will say Harrison from Ohio State.
Hold on, I'll throw a poll
very
up.
big athletically. Like I think they said he would have probably been one of the top 3 or 4 most athletic linemen. If you watch him on film, he's a little inconsistent. I don't think he plays with a lot of fire in him. Like there's just something about it. McGuire, I think McGuire's a Spags guy, but I don't want to influence this. I think Zach Harrison can do what Spags wants to at 6'6".
McGuire had a
something.
nasty outing against Broderick Jones this past year.
Right.
Harrison, yeah, he runs a bit hot and cold, but it's like he can be dominant. He's a very good like linear player. Like he explodes.
I'm going to bring up another guy for you. They've got him listed as a linebacker on here, but I think he's going to play with his hand down. If anything, he might not play with his hand down, but he can come off the edge, and I'm sure he's probably still on the board. DJ Johnson out of Oregon, 6'4", 270. He's raw, but the Chiefs have talked to him. They brought him in and talked to him, so I don't know if that's where you consider him to be taken, but that
he's
could
a
maybe
former tight end too.
Right, and so he may be there in the 5th round if you don't want to double dip this early. Just trying
He's
to
actually
throw out some stuff.
a guy I'm not particularly that high on.
Okay. Is it because he punched the guy in the face?
Played a part.
Hey, the Chiefs.
What's wrong-
the
what's wrong with that?
Do take the troubled one.
Hey, I was a big LeGarrette Blunt guy, so I mean, it's not. It doesn't go in the whole equation.
Right.
Let's check this poll out. Let's check the poll
Okay.
out.
Check the poll.
75% for McGuire at the moment. 25% Harrison. So
Let's go.
That's where they're
McGuire.
leaning.
For me, it's a real coin toss. Really depends on what you're asking from those guys. And I mean, I honestly think even Harrison could probably kick inside on pass downs if you wanted him to. But
So who are we taking? You guys.
McGuire.
The final one.
McGuire.
So we're going McGuire. Yeah. Okay, good deal. McGuire was rated number 150 on my board. That may be actually a little low. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how I want to do the defensive lineman sometimes.
It's tough.
It is.
Like all my edge guys, I just assume that I'm like overranking them.
Is 150 according to your board? Is that too low, too high for what you think?
I can tell you right off the top of my head, he is in the top 100.
So you have him a little higher than me. Okay,
86.
Well, I will say, sometimes when I'm having trouble breaking ties, I tend to lean to you. Like, I'll go find what you think about him because I trust what you say. I haven't got to dig in as much on McGuire as I wanted, so that's why he's cruising around that round 4, round 5 mark for me for now. But I'm with you. I think he could probably get top 3 rounds easily if a team falls in love with him.
Yeah, I'll after this I'll share with y'all my Excel if y'all want to have
Please
that.
do.
I say
I'll
Excel,
give you
my Google
yeah.
spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Same
send it
thing.
over. It's just allchiefdup@gmail.com. Just send it over, man. I'd love to take a look through it. Okay, so we're back on the board. Zach Harrison is still here. Are we triple dipping, people?
No.
We're not
no.
triple dipping. Okay, we're pulling the defensive line off the board. I'm going to keep up linebacker, nose tackle. I will throw wide receiver back on.
Always got to look at it once.
I'm also going to throw an interior offensive line because we have been rumored to be talking to a few interior offensive linemen. We love the swing linemen here in Kansas City. So do you want me to throw anything else up, bro? I've got wide receiver, IOL, nose tackle, linebacker, and I can bring up safeties or corners if you think that's something.
I'm not. I'm pretty confident they're content right now. If they do, they maybe take a late round guy. Like, so I'm fairly confident the Chiefs are trading up in the first round this year.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I feel like they're gonna attack.
There's so much.
O-line.
They have so much draft capital. Why wouldn't
they did it
they?
last year?
Right. Exactly.
Do you?
Yeah.
But they can't take all these picks. You know that they're not taking all the picks they got.
I had a very wild thought process today, and I want to run it by both of you, Steve, you as well. I was sitting here watching mock draft. Actually, it was your mock draft, BroSchmo. You and Alex again. I was watching you all, and when Jacksonville was on the clock, you guys made a point that they may take the defensive end. I think you actually took Miles Murphy.
Murphy, yeah.
And you guys said that you just don't think they're going to pay Josh Allen. He's been linked in some trade rumors. Do you think the Chiefs could come up to number 24, swap first and give up maybe a second next year, and maybe draft a Quentin Johnston and get Josh Allen out of the deal? Would that be crazy?
Gosh, dude.
Would that be a big enough draft night splash?
That would be huge. I don't know what that trade would look like. Oh,
right. Would you?
So many
We'd have to
moving
probably give up our
parts.
first and second, right?
I'd imagine.
I mean, I would be
And
down
then,
giving up my
and
second
then
round
give
pick
him
for
a new
Josh
deal.
Allen. Yeah, I mean, well, we got to pay somebody. I don't know how that's working, but I just had that idea. I was like, we need a splash on draft night in KC. Trading for Josh Allen on draft night would be pretty sick, to be honest. Okay, well, what?
Wow. I mean, we had AJ Brown last year, so it's like I'm ready.
Do you know the Chiefs were in on AJ Brown last year? They tried to make that work. AJ Brown confirmed it, so that would have been pretty sick too, actually.
I don't blame them. Tennessee were fools. I don't know what.
Yeah.
What thought? Apparently, they were only offering them like 10 to 15 a year. But
I'm scrolling these guys for you. Keyshawn Butte's still on the board.
Yeah,
I just don't know what you think about him. A lot of people love him. Me and Steve.
This is
think
it's just too many red flags, man.
Yeah.
Just too many red flags. Like, we could talk about the character red flags all day. Those are big enough. But like coming off 2 ankle surgeries this past season, and then went on, didn't look nearly as explosive as he once was, and then he went out, tested not nearly as explosive as we expected. So like in lower percentiles in terms of the explosive drills. So it's like I think the ankle is a huge concern with him. So yeah, I kind of have him in that 150 area as well.
Jared, thanks for showing up, man. I just want more videos from you guys. I feel like I can't get enough of you guys. Dude, I swear, it feels like people get too much of us, but I'm glad you're on the opposite side of that fence. We appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, we try to do as much content as we can, but time is limited sometimes.
Dude, around draft season, it gets wild. I'm sure BroSchmo understands that one. It gets a little chaotic.
Dude, it's nuts.
Stephen Bill asked about running backs. BroSchmo, what do you think about the Chiefs taking a running back in this draft?
Why? I mean,
well,
we
have not re-signed Jerick McKinnon yet, so that's
really
the logic. No, he is not back with the team, and we don't know if we're gonna get him back, to be honest.
Well, shoot, let's slap it on the board. Let's see what we got at running back.
Well, the only reason we say is because he's a 31, 32-year-old running back with a lot of injury history, so I don't know if Brett Veach wants to pay him.
True.
We got Cole in the house. What's going on, Cole?
So I'll tell you the name I'm looking for right now is, if we're talking maybe a guy that would be similar to McKinnon, it would be Keaton Bennett or Mitchell. There we go.
Yes.
Keaton Mitchell? Yeah, Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell right here from East Carolina. Yeah. We actually brought in the little guy from Deuce Vaughn from K-State. We've met with him.
Yeah, Vaughn's nice too.
Deuce Vaughn is not on the board.
I have a quick question while we're on the running back thing. BroSchmo, if someone like Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs were to fall to 31 and the Chiefs are sitting there, they have to take them, right?
Yeah, why not? It worked out with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, that's
Did
the
you
PTSD.
just compare him? Hold on. Did you just compare Clyde to Bijan Robinson? Then?
More so Gibbs, because let's be honest, Bijan ain't going to be there.
Gibbs is Jamal Charles 2.0. So
yeah, I can see that, but man, like there's just more valuable positions I think you could address there. Like,
Deuce Vaughn is on the board here. I've got him at number 180 on my big board, so I've got him comped at about a 4th, 5th round pick. So so Deuce Vaughn is on the board. Zach Evans out of Ole Miss. I don't know what you think about him. A lot of people are starting to bring him up.
He's a good athlete. He's smooth. He's just never got the opportunity to shine.
Do you think would be better or worse than Jerry and Ely that came out last year? Because we actually got him on our practice squad. We think he's a dark horse to make the roster, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say he's better. The dude's a former 5-star recruit. Like, he's got the build. Ely's more of that scat back home run passing game guy. I actually really liked Ely last year.
Cole, thanks for calling us legends. That's a bit too far, but we know you're.
I think he's talking to the people in the chat. I think he's talking to the people in the chat. He don't care.
Sweet.
We're not legends. Well, actually, we did buy him a pizza though. So
we did. BroSchmo is the legend.
Tough, dude.
Hey man, That's
Dude,
why
I gotta
Beach
do.
makes the big money.
I gotta do a stinking. I'm starting to prepare for like a 7-round mock of everything
Oof.
this weekend. Like,
What a daunting task.
I never look forward to them. They're my least favorite videos to like do.
BroSchmo, when are you doing another live mock draft with fans on Walk the Mock?
Thursday.
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 One of
And
these days, I
then-
want to get into one of those. You have to send me an invite one time. I want to come in and draft the Chiefs.
I'll do it. I'll shoot it to you early. Just don't tell
Every
my
time,
people.
yeah, every time I get on there and try to find it, dude, the Chiefs are gone. I'm like, everybody wants to be the champs, I guess.
Yeah, I actually, I'm on doing a walk the mock this Friday for gosh, I don't even know the channel. They sent me an invite. I was like, sure, I'm down. I'll stream this, and I picked the
awesome.
Chiefs. I was like, all right, I'm
Sweet.
going. This is a full Gojo stream.
Hey, this is we're giving you some practice tonight.
Yeah, you're warming up right now.
Yeah. Oh, what was his name? Greg Cover One. And it hurts my heart that I'm not familiar with him because he looks really big on Twitter. But
Nice. Oh, Chief fans, if you're watching right now, we're going to be back with a live on Thursday with none other than tight end for your Kansas City Chiefs, Jason Dunn. He played with Tony G. We all know Jason Dunn from Chief Concerns. He's going to be on Thursday night, so be sure and mark that one down. Just wanted to let you guys know because I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to do a draft or we're just going to talk draft with him, but he's pretty knowledgeable. BroSchmo, you are on the clock. We've got you. This is your second, fourth rounder. We'll probably call it after 4. So this will be your last pick.
Yeah,
we'll call it after 4.
I'm gonna pitch this. Keandre Coburn was the name that stood out to me probably like 10 minutes ago. And he's big meat eater. He in year 5 showed he had pass rush upside, but you know at the very least that this cat is a very good run defender. He has that nose tackle size, but doesn't necessarily. I think he could play over top the guard if you need him to.
Coburn.
Yeah, Coburn. He was pretty good at the. I thought he was pretty solid at the Shrine.
Okay, well, let's run these really quick. We'll call it a day on round 4 because, like you said, after round 4, it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah,
going to be there. So we got DeJuan Jones, pick number 1 out of Ohio State, offensive tackle. Chiefs Kingdom, they're a little iffy on that pick. Somebody told you he was a 3rd-round talent. I don't know. Isaiah Foskey in the 2nd round, edge out of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish all-time sack leader over Justin Tugg, Isaiah Foskey. In round 3, BroSchmo Veach goes Zach Kuntz, tight end from Old Dominion, off purely
my favorite pick.
Right, off purely speculation that this kid is going to develop, and he's got all the intangibles to do it. Isaiah McGuire, a Missouri boy, in round 4, as he double dips on edge, just a slight bit. Isaiah McGuire can kick down inside, I believe. And then we got Coburn, a big body in the middle that's probably going to replace Derek Nottie out of Texas as the last pick of the draft through 4. What do you give yourself as a grade, BroSchmo Veach?
Oh man, so I would say this is a fairly above average draft. If I'm being honest, I look at this first sight and I'm like, all right, this is like a B plus. You know, there's not real outside of Kuntz, there isn't that high upside guy you're really taking a swing for the fences on, which I don't think you need to. Sometimes having those B drafts initially, they work out well. You get solid starters. You get maybe 3 to 4 starters in that draft with some good rotation or good depth players. And I feel really good about DeJuan Jones being a starter. I feel exceptionally good about Foskey, even though I don't think he'd be like an edge 1 in the league. But man, Kuntz, man, I really feel like that dude legitimately has home run potential.
I like that. So Chris Wright's been going crazy with the gifted memberships, and he actually gifted Cole a membership. So how about those Chiefs?
How do you do
now
that?
Remembered all chiefed up. I don't know. I didn't know you could just pick out who you gifted it to.
I guess you
I
can.
thought it was random.
Maybe he just got a random one. Cole, you are now a member. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I want to let Gojo in real quick.
All chiefed up society here.
Okay, so we got. I want to get to some of the people in the chat. Chris
Wright.
Wright.
Like, what the hell did you do?
Okay, so Doug says that he grades it a B plus. Stephen Bill says B plus A minus. Chris Wright, I clicked the wrong one earlier, but he says a B. Scott Crosser says an A minus. So I think people pretty much like your draft, Broshmo. I think you did pretty good. I think you've pleased the crowd. So far, we've not hit a solid A draft. We've drafted with Ryan Tracy. We've drafted with Daniel Harms. We've drafted with you. Nobody's given us an A yet, so I'm not for sure what is going to get the A.
That's what happens when you win the Super Bowl, dude. I mean,
right? We can't.
You're
We
picking
can't
at
take those
31,
flashy.
32.
Yeah, we can't take those flashy top tens. But Broshmo does believe that Veach is trading up on draft night. If he trades up on draft night, Broshmo, this is the last question. We'll let you get out of here. If the Chiefs trade up on draft night, where do you think about the range they're going, and who do you think they're trading up to get? Are they coming up for a Broderick Jones or an Anton Harrison, or are they coming up for the wide receiver?
That was the first name you said there. Broderick Jones was the name I thought of because I think it's going to be a similar like what they did with the Patriots. What it was like 20 or 21 they moved up to.
Yep, with
Something like that.
Trent McDuffie.
Yeah. I think depending on how the board falls, like maybe one of those edge players like a Lucas Van Ness or a Nolan Smith, if they end up falling, could be in the cards as well.
I like that. I like it. Well, this is BroSchmo, if you didn't know, and I'm gonna let him tell you guys why you should follow him and let him do a little self promo before he jumps off here. So, BroSchmo, take the floor, my man.
I am the most interesting man in the world. Yeah, thank you. No, I do a lot of draft content. For me, next year's draft will start literally April 30th. That's I do my summer deep dives. If you're trying to get into the draft early, no one on YouTube is talking about more prospects. No one is talking about the draft as deep as I am, and I am very confident to say that. If you're trying to be like, hey, I want to know every player my team picks, maybe even some of the UDFAs, I'm the channel. I'm that guy. I am him. So if you love that, I also do some NFL. I'll do like predictions, power rankings. I'll have Gojo's underdog bet of the weeks during the season. So yeah, it's just a good old time.
Hey, so we kept up with Broshmo last year, and we took his opinion to heart on a lot of things. And Mike actually picked 3 people right in his mock draft last year. He had Sky Moore, George Karlaftis, and Joshua Williams. He nailed all 3 of those picks, and I think you helped him a little bit, whether you know it or not.
I also loved McDuffie, dude. I was shocked he made it.
Hey, I called that
far.
too. I did. I called it on Twitter. They kept saying that the Chiefs should take the kid out of Clemson, Andrew Booth. And I was like, there's only one player I would take out of corner in this draft. And if I had to do it, I'm taking Trent McDuffie. And sure enough, we moved up and took him. So I will take pride in that one. Hey, I know my Chiefs, baby. It's been 35 years, and until recently, it's been a lot of hardships. But until recently.
I'm a Dolphins fan. What do you mean about hardships?
I'll tell you what. On the
I'm still struggling.
Right. Well, in honor of BroSchmo being here today, and as gratitude for you taking your time to talk to Chiefs Kingdom and picking stuff, I will give you a fins up one time. And tell Tyreek if he ever gets tired of losing over in Miami, he can come back.
He retired.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think. He gone. He gone. Okay, man. Well, we'll let you get out of here. We appreciate you being here, dude. Everybody tell BroSchmo thanks in the chat for being here, and get over and subscribe to his channel, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Later, Gojo.
He's knocked out.
He's out.
He was like, this is a B draft. I'm gone.
He's gone. He's out.
All right.
Okay.
So he appeared back.
You
don't want to leave,
leaving. He's never leaving. He's back. Okay, he's gone.
Gone. We gotta talk about this comment here.
I banned him from the studio.
When I saw this.
I banned him from the studio.
Broshmo.
He's kicked. He's gone. I kicked him out.
So yeah. So how about those Chiefs? Cole says I won't stop gifting until Brian never stops talking. Parrot gets a gifted from me. That'd be hilarious if Brian Parrot got a gifted membership from you, Cole. Brian, he's an OG. He's been around for a while on our channel, comment and everything. But he does love to to talk about Cole. I've noticed that as well.
Yeah,
I think
he
it's
likes
funny
to
though.
get at Cole.
I can't tell if it's like lighthearted, like just like taking like trolling, or if he's actually taking jabs. I don't really know, but either way, uh, just two very different people there.
Yep.
And that comment is hilarious.
Dudes, we got about 10 minutes and we got to end this live. But for the next 10 minutes, we want to talk to you guys. What's going on, man? Leave us some comments in the chat. We didn't get to really talk to you guys a lot while we were doing the draft because when we bring your comments up, it was like covering Broshmo's face and we didn't want to be rude. So, yeah, man, what's going on? Chris, I see you. We've seen that you've been gifting subs, dude. That is awesome. Chiefer65, you've been here the whole time, dude. We appreciate it. Doug, Scott Crosser, you guys are awesome, man. Chrome, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Cole is still in here using his he's using his newly gifted sub emojis. Look at Cole's badge. What's Cole's badge?
Does it even show it? Does it even show it?
We don't get to see it on our end. We can't really see it. I'm gonna log on.
Look at Cole's badge.
That's funny.
Cole's a huge fan of that badge logo, actually. I think he DM'd us on Twitter to tell us how good it looked, and he loved it. So,
dude, I'm going to tell you all, that girl, she took a lot of heat from Chiefs Kingdom over that.
She's awesome too, dude.
She's pretty really nice. Cool. I do agree. The logo for the Chiefs is a no-go. I mean, but nobody's touching that. Her idea, and a lot of people missed it till Steve called it out. That KC was supposed to be in the form of an arrowhead, but it just don't have the tip on the left. Like the arrowhead's backwards.
It's like a blunt,
the tip.
Arrowhead.
Yeah, I think if she would have put like if she'd have put like an actual arrowhead through it, kind of like we did on All Chiefed Up, and kind of put that blunt tip at the front and maybe like the thing going out the back, it would have been more noticeable.
Well,
but yeah,
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Anybody can come up with any concept for the Chiefs. If it's not the real, actual, original logo there, like everyone's going to lose their mind, dude, just because no one wants to change it, obviously. And I think it's a little touchy because, people talk about changing the Chiefs stuff all the time. So.
Right. Steven says, we move up to 20 in front of the Chargers for a wide receiver. That would be hilarious. I heard the Chargers are actually looking at Zay Flowers. Wouldn't that be funny to just come up and take Zay Flowers before them? That would be hilarious.
Right in front of them. That would be funny. A lot of New England fans think that they're going to get Zay Flowers as well.
Chris says blunt tip. Yeah, it was a blunt tip.
Just the tip.
Yeah, she was cool. She just wanted to showcase her art, and she actually, dude, her Lions one was fire, man. If you guys go back and find that one.
Heck yeah, it was. And the Vikings one was really good. She did it all the teams. Honest.
Look, if you're redesigning something for the Chiefs, I mean, we're iconic. We just rode with the KC and the Arrowhead, but it's like, why could you possibly do that would look that cool? Because we're kind of limited as it is. Yeah, we're kind of limited as it is, so she probably just didn't have many good ideas. I know if I was in her position, I wouldn't have had a lot of good ideas either. But
hey, but she had the nerve to do it. So,
dude, Cole, you're right. Her Vikings logo was insane. It really was. It was legit. But dude, Vikings fans raked her over it. They hated it.
It's the same way. It don't matter. Fans of that team are gonna hate it because they like what they have. Like that's what I was saying. She could have had the best Chiefs logo ever made. And everybody would have been like, trash, that's just how it is, man.
Dude, I agree. She's spot on in the NFC North. I did see another dude. He had come up with an idea, and he does minimalist logos, and he did a KC one. It was kind of cool, but the arrow for him, it kind of looked like the Jesus fish. The one on the back of the cars? His arrowhead looked like a fish with KC in it. So... yeah, Ko said, I thought it was sick. Dude, I love the Vikings. The Vikings and the Lions logos were fire. The Kansas City one, again, if you look at it as just like a K and a C, yeah, it's cool. Is it ever going to replace the Arrowhead? No. I think
that wasn't the point. I don't think she was wanting to replace logos.
Yeah,
it was
she actually
showing her skills, man.
She had actually messaged me on Gmail, and we asked her if we could use it for our badges because we liked it, and she was like, yeah, and she was actually crying. She said Chiefs Kingdom was one of the meanest fan bases she had ever met, and I was like, dude, I apologize.
The Super Bowl champs logo.
Yeah, I apologize for Chiefs Kingdom, dude. I felt bad for her, and I was like,
it's just one of them things with Chiefs Kingdom that's touchy. Like I was saying, like any kind of new uniform concept or anything, they throw a fit, dude. They're not open to change at all.
which is fine. It's good to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're cool with it. Yeah, don't get us
traditionalist.
wrong. I think we have the best, logo and
Her social
everything.
is at. Let me get it right for you, Cole. It's Emily. Her name's Emily. Let me get it.
Emily Creates.
Let's make sure I get it right. I don't want to tell you wrong and have you like harassing some other lady.
Look, he says he's going to say something nice to her, and you're like, don't
Do
be
it.
harassing. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Chiefs Live, what's up? We're doing good. How you doing?
It is at Emily Morgan Creates on TikTok. She does have a YouTube, but I don't think she uses it very much. I'll put it in the thing at Emily Morgan Creates. I threw it in the chat. Yeah, if everybody wants to just go to her TikTok and just be nice to her and tell her Chiefs Kingdom don't hate her guts, we're just traditionalists. And that All Chiefed Up said that she was cool and that we appreciate her. And yeah, like she's just a girl out here trying to make a living out of getting designs. But you know what's cool? They actually was featured. She's been featured on ESPN a bunch too, so she's got a lot of eyes on her work, dude. For real. I want to say the Vikings logo co-liked had over 2 million views, so pretty good.
Do you have that? Can you pull that up?
Yeah, let me look for it. I'll find it.
It was pretty cool. The Lions one though was absolutely sick, dude. Like I think that might have been the best one. Not for sure. But see, Doug says hit that hardcore like button for Punk Rock Tuesday. All Chiefed Up. Let's go. Yeah, Doug has dubbed our live stream on Tuesday as Punk Rock Tuesday. I'm okay with it. You got here Iceberg Slim. Hey, good to see you back, man, Slim. Dalton Kincaid or Sam Laporta with Andy Reid and Travis Kelce is not fair. I'm not even a Chiefs fan. Yeah, dude, Dalton Kincaid on the Chiefs would be insane. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Like Laporta, too. Laporta's not as good of a route runner. Don't have as good of hands, but he can create yards after catch like crazy. So, yeah, either of those. And then the guy that Broshmo took in our draft earlier, Zach Kuntz, you can get him later, and I think that he's going to develop to be a nice tight end as well. So, a lot of people don't have the Chiefs taking tight end in the draft, but I wouldn't doubt it. Chiefs Live, doing good. Love the channel. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Okay, I found it. I'm gonna mute it because they play a bunch of music. I don't want to get like
Michael Key. Who's your Commanders pick? Mike, who should the Commanders take in the draft, man?
There she is, right there playing it. It's actually at 4 million. What is it? Who should the Commanders pick? Michael, I think the Commanders. If I were them, I'd be looking at Deontay Banks, out the corner out of Maryland. I really like him. I think he does a lot of zone that you guys love. I wouldn't be surprised to take a tackle right there. I mean, if you all took a tackle, that'd be pretty sweet. And depends on if you all want to pay Montez Sweat or not, man. Pass rusher, defensive line could always be something. But yeah, I like Deontay Banks right there from Maryland. I think he does a lot of good stuff. Chris Wright said that's a sick Vikings logo. It is it not, man? Like you can see her design it. I want to show you guys her Lions one. It is Lions, sick, dude. Here it is.
That's my favorite. I think she absolutely killed the Lions logo.
Dude, look, she takes the Lions, turns it into the main, dude, and it is so sick.
So sick.
That's the Lions should adopt that tomorrow.
Too. Yeah, they need to. Like, no kidding.
And then obviously, she's great. And obviously, I'll go ahead and show the Chiefs ones. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I mean, look, to be honest, if you wanted to rake her over anything, this Bears logo is kind of trash. If I was a Bears fan, I would be mad. But
Mike's like, hey, be nice to this girl. She's really good, but this one sucks.
I'm just saying, like, if I was a Bears fan, I wouldn't like this one that much. But I see what she did. She took the bear and made it out of the sea. So it's not horrible.
Right. She's
but
just
it's
doing
kind
her own
of
weird little
what
concepts.
are you going to do with a sea? That's their whole logo's a sea. And that's what I'm saying. The Chiefs is just such a simplistic logo. What can you really do? So she's getting ready to bring this up. I feel like my internet's about to crash out on me, fellas, but
yeah, I don't want to play the Chiefs one. See, the TikTok doesn't even like her Chiefs logo. They had to be mean to her too.
She took
they
so
won't let
much
the video
hate.
play.
Oh, look, the first comment is from a guy named Steven. The Chiefs are old school. They will never change. That being said, I wish they would do an all blackout outfit with black helmets. Steven, just saying that will get you banned. Don't even say that you want an all
Cole
black
says never
logo.
seen that Lions logo. It's sick, dude. That's my favorite one. I think she absolutely knocked that one out of the park. Like if I was the Detroit Lions owner, I'd take it. I'd be like, can we have it, please?
Somebody asked her, "Can you do a Cincinnati Bengals logo?" And she just made a cat that cried a lot and blamed the officials.
That ain't no bear. It was a crocodile with an overbite. I was thinking the same thing. I almost said it looked like a crocodile or an alligator. That's hilarious.
Okay, here we go. Finally got the Chiefs one to play. She's getting ready to play it. You guys will see it. She does the KC. She's trying to do the backwards logo play. That's why she pushed that C like that to give the shape of an arrowhead. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I could see that being like a XFL team or something for real. Like it's not that horrible
Right.
of a logo. I mean, of course, people are gonna rake it.
It could have
because that's
been.
what
It
they
could have been
do, but-
the Chicago Crocodiles logo.
Right. It's better than the Bears one. Let's all be honest with that one. But I kind of like the little Chiefs thing wrote down the side. It's kind of cool. But
Right. Kip Carnes
hopefully
says,
we're-
I'm not ever looking forward to the Chiefs ever moving out of Arrowhead. Man, nobody is, but everyone needs to brace themselves because it's probably coming. And the reason I say that is they're winning like crazy. I mean, they're going to end up with some kind of nice little dome there in KC. I bet you they move it downtown too.
Right. Chris says, "Don't hate. It's just not hitting the mark." Yeah, we totally agree. I don't think it's not good for the Chiefs. We just kind of like the KC in the form of the arrowhead, and we thought it would be cool for like a channel, like a little badge or something. So yeah, she loved it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Chiefs fan made her cry over that logo. Yeah, she said that Chiefs fans are one of the most brutal fan bases she's ever seen. I think Twitter actually like 2 days ago was sharing it and like ripping her hard, dude. Like I think I've seen one positive comment for like every 500 negative comments. It's pretty crazy. Of course, but isn't that what the internet's for? Just to get on here and hate
Right.
people and be mean.
Hey, Cole knows as well as we do that everyone on YouTube, everyone on Twitter, everyone on anything, they know
Check this
everything.
out. She did
They
a
will
Super
tell you
Bowl
about
thing
it.
with the Eagles. She went like old school or something. That one's kind of. She went like old school, like 60s designs. That one kind of.
Stephen Bill
sucks.
says could have put an arrowhead on a stick through it in case he has the feathers. That's another thing I thought it resembled was just the feathers on it. So she could have been going that route. It was either the arrowhead or that route, one of the two. But I feel like that's the thing about it. I don't think it's that bad. I do feel like it's kind of unfinished for an actual team logo. Like for, membership badge, I think it looks cool. But for an actual team logo, I feel like it needed something more.
I got to see her Green Bay one. What's this one going to be? See, look, Green Bay's just a G. What's she going to do? A G and a B? Yep. I mean, can you obviously do for some of these teams? There's hardly nothing. Like, you're going to put a piece of
Right.
cheese?
At least
I
it's
don't
different
get-
than Grambling or whatever that university is. It has the same logo as Green Bay.
Rambling. Doug said, yeah, we're brutally honest. Yeah, Chiefs King were so brutally honest. That girl, I don't know. She may not like the Chiefs anymore.
They deterred her away from ever liking the Chiefs.
Yeah, for real. Okay,
No,
see,
I mean
but
that's the thing.
I'm going to have to
What?
hit the bricks, guys. I got to
Heading
hit the
out?
bricks.
Going to
do. I have to
Nashville. You're
head
gonna
out.
get you some hot chicken.
I have to go to Nashville. I do have to go get some. Probably not getting hot chicken. I may stop by Whataburger in honor of Cole tonight. I'm gonna get the Cole
Dude,
special
if you go
from
by Whataburger, drop me a couple off. I'll pay you.
I will. If I go by Whataburger, I'll get you and the ladies some Whataburger and drop it off on your doorstep.
Please do. Please do. You know how we like it.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I gotta head out. Steve, are you staying and talking to him, or are you just out too? My man?
I'll do a few more. I'll do about 5 minutes and then I'm off as well. So
Okay, well, I want to
just
tell
heads
everybody
up.
thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us and BroSchmo. We love you guys. Cole, good to see you. Nice for you sitting around and talking to everybody. That was nice to Emily. You guys are cool too. Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys. And we'll be back on another live on Thursday with Jason Dunn from Chief Concerns. We're going to talk some draft with him. Chris says 20 bomb, baby. Great chat tonight. Had fun with the mock. See you all soon. Keep it up. Chris, love you guys, dude. Cole says just get Sonic. Cole, with that,
No.
I'm leaving. I'm out, buddy.
yeah, go ahead and leave. I'll take this one. I got this.
Okay.
So I love Sonic Burgers. I think
Love
Sonic
you guys.
Burgers
See ya.
are one of the best, but it does not compare. Like fresh Whataburger is the best fast food burger you can get. It's just so good, especially if you just take all the crap off of it and you just get like cheese and grilled onions on it. Makes it amazing. Let's see. I see that people aren't too keen on getting a dome in KC, but I hate to tell you guys, but it's probably coming. They're going to get something fancy. This team is way too successful right now. They have the best quarterback to ever play football. So You're going to see a lot of change coming. And like I said earlier, I bet they move it downtown, which is kind of a bummer because it is pretty cool. Um, was they have that and Kaufman kind of sitting outside a little bit. It's different. You don't see that everywhere. Normally, it's right in the middle of the town. And I think that's probably what they're going to end up with. And I think the same for Kaufman. Kaufman's going to get moved as well. So those days might be coming to an end sooner than later, but we'll see about it. Yeah, like Mike was saying, thanks Chris Wright for the 20 bomb and all the gifted memberships, dude. That's freaking awesome. See, it's half price Sonic Burger. Is it really half price Sonic Burgers tonight? That's awesome. I already ate. The lady cooked dinner tonight, so I don't have to rely on a burger. But if Mike's going to Whataburger, I'm not going to tell him to not get me one. So definitely going to do that. Chris Wright says, F that, dome is necessary. Dude, it's coming. It does suck because Arrowhead's awesome. It's iconic. It's the greatest stadium there is, right? Like Green Bay can talk about Lambeau all they want, but man, Arrowhead's where it's at. And it is kind of disappointing to think that they would be moving away from that, but it's all about progression, man. Got to keep moving forward. As long as we're winning the Super Bowls, I don't think you got to absolutely care where it's at as long as we're winning. Same, the Chiefs Kingdom can be in the new place the same way they can be in that one. It just kind of moves along with them, right? Scott Crawford says never leave Arrowhead. Unfortunately, it looks like they're already talking about how they are not going to do any more upgrades at Arrowhead because there's no point in it. So I think they already have the idea that its days are numbered, even if that is a little sad and disappointing. Andy did let it leak a little, Chris. That's what I was talking about. Exactly. He said that they weren't going to pay for upgrades there. What was the point? So Stephen Bill says if they build a new stadium, then they have to have a roof. Hopefully, it's a movable one. Yeah, more than likely. Well, I think most of the new places are doing that retractable roof thing. So it'd probably be along the same lines as any of the newer stadiums. I know Tennessee Titans actually have put out a prototype where they're moving away from Nissan Stadium and they're getting one that will be a dome, and I think it's going to have a retractable roof and everything. Theirs looks super nice. It's ridiculous. So I think it'll be something like that for sure. Yep, I love Arrowhead. There's a Bear Stadium. 100%, man. Yeah, Chris, you make a perfect point right here. The Kansas City will host the Super Bowl if they get a dome there. I guarantee it. I'm surprised. That's the only reason they haven't is because Arrowhead is, outside and they want it to be climate controlled in that Super Bowl for sure. Royals forced to move so Chiefs can build a new stadium and facility. Maybe, but I don't know, man. I kind of think if they do a new place for the Chiefs, that it might end up being, downtown. I don't think it's going to stay in Raytown. So, not for sure about that, but I would think that they're going to move it downtown. It's usually how it is in other cities. Kansas City's an outlier, so it's cool, and I like it that way. I think it's really neat that those two stadiums sit outside the city a little bit, some breathing room. I like it. I think it's cool. First time I ever went to Kansas City, that's the first thing you see when you're getting there is you see Kaufman, you see Arrowhead, and it's awesome before you ever even get to the city if you're coming from the east like we do. Mike somehow has entered the chat. So he didn't want to leave yet. I see he got on. If the Chiefs move from Arrowhead, I'm buying it, and we're all meeting up on Sundays to watch Chief games on the big screens. Y'all in? I think everybody could go with that, man. If we're not going to be at the actual game, we're going to sit at Arrowhead and we're going to big screen it. I love that idea. Mike dropping a good idea from afar now that he left me. As long as the new stadium isn't turf, I'm happy. I don't think a lot of people are going with turf. They're kind of doing that sod or whatever. Like that they're doing kind of a hybrid with the turf and grass these days. Like they're going to keep trying to find something new there because I mean the players are getting a little bit fed up with the whole turf thing, man. There's just a lot of risk to it, and a lot of them's taking bad knee injuries and things like that maybe could be avoided if they weren't on turf. And I can only imagine, man. There's like that turf. There's not really much give to it and everything. It's got to be hard on these athletes. So I don't think that they would do a full-on turf field. I don't, but you never know. They do like to see, you know, the Chiefs play super fast, and obviously everyone can play faster on turf, but I just don't think that's going to be a thing. Mike, with the $1.99, says I'm doing good. I appreciate that. It's weird by myself. I'm not going to lie. It's not the same. I feel like something's missing. There's a hole needs to be filled. I'm glad you can support while you're on your way to Nashville there, buddy. Let's see. Stephen Bill, imagine Royals next to KCPD and Chiefs to the West Bottoms. I don't know about it, brother. It'd be ideal if they. I think they're definitely moving Kaufman. I think they've already decided that. But it'd be ideal if they just kept like the new place right beside Arrowhead. That'd be awesome. At least have, still be in the same area. Y'all doing anything for the draft? Chris, so draft night, first round, we always hang out with our pops, grill out and just kick back and enjoy the draft as a family, man. Like just it's kind of our bond as a Chief. So me and Mike and Pops, we'll be doing that probably here at my place. We're going to do it outside actually for the neighborhood. It's going to be projected onto the side of a building out back. So we're going to have the bonfire, the grill going, and we're going to enjoy the first round. So we'll be tweeting and stuff like that, but we won't be on here for the first round of the draft. Now for day 2, day 3, we'll be live streaming. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to hit us up around then, man. And it's gonna be a fun weekend, dude. I'm ready for the draft. I know you guys have to be too. It's been slow the last couple of weeks. You get a little bit of a tidbit here and there with the Chiefs, like today signing Blaine Gabbert and stuff like that. But it's not a whole lot going on. Just a lot of speculation, and it's tough as a content creator to just make stuff off of speculation because everyone's tired of it. Everyone's tired of hearing about D-Hop, I'm sure. But it's the hot button topic that people want to hear about. Half people are so sick of it they don't want to see it, and half that they're loving it. So it is what it is. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here for the night, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Mike does as well. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching Broshmo pick what he thinks the KC Chiefs should do. I thought it was interesting seeing it. Like I said in the chat, man, it's cool to get an outside perspective because we get in our own echo chamber where we're just talking about the same guys over and over again, the my guys, or who's RGR saying we're gonna get, or what's all chiefed up saying, or what's KCSN saying, or who did Cole say is getting. A lot of people just start mimicking those things and we start hearing the same players over and over and over again. But this was a guy that covers the draft in depth and all them players 365 days a year. Like he started on this draft class the day after the draft last year. So he knows a lot about these players and what they have to offer. So it was cool to get his perspective on that for sure. I thought it was pretty cool. And I think he actually drafted pretty well for the Chiefs. I know a lot of you guys said A-, B+. I'm right there with you. I wouldn't give it like a solid A just because obviously it can always be better, but I think it was very, very solid, and I appreciated him coming on and doing that. It was fun. So you guys take care, and then we will be back. I think Mike said Thursday night with Jason Dunn of Chief Concerns. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that one, and then we'll be back on Saturday night as well doing a live. I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe we got Matt Lane from KCSN coming on Saturday night to talk draft. So should be a fun week here, and then we'll be dropping our normal videos and shorts. So keep your eye out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, Chris Wright, for the donos and the gifts. All that's awesome. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.